Hey, hi, I am Perigon, this is Antichamber, as was just said. I'll be running 120 signs. This is a game where each puzzle has a little, like, life lesson of sorts that'll come up here, and there's meant to be clues for the puzzle. They're signs. I will collect all of them. It's deceptively short, so I will restart the game right there. I'll just get straight into it and explain it as I go. And time will start when I click onto this level. So we'll go to time. We'll go 3, 2, 1, start. So oh, okay, I immediately failed. Good to know. So I'll try that again. I don't have many of these signs actually memorized. There's one of them, which is this first one here that I can sort of demonstrate. It says this door, as you can see, if you look away, it'll solve. There's like, take a few steps backward to go forward or something. I don't remember like any of the others. They're quite convoluted most of the time and don't help because I already know the solution. What's important? So I guess you'll see me a lot going back to, oh, I cannot see anything. Okay, we're good. So you see as I can go back to this area called the Antichamber, which has the big map in front of you, you can go to all those set points on the map. It just makes movement a lot quicker. As you can see, I can just go straight to this area from the other. It usually seems like even just like a 5-second walk. It's quite convenient. But yeah, I guess I'll explain a bit more of the game, of the progression, I guess. So for this first section, it's a lot of just like visual gags like that, where you walk through the hall and it suddenly changes. Soon, once that door shuts, I will now go get the cube guns, which there are 4 of in this game. The blue, usually I can see through this section. Maybe I'll do it intended. There we go, okay. So first, that's the blue gun. It is the weakest gun. It can only grab 1 cube at a time and place 1 cube at a time. Haven't seen them yet because they just haven't been important, but as we can see here, they get progressively more powerful. I will explain that as it happens. Unfortunately, we have to wait for this eye to blink. It's obnoxiously long. There we go. And now let us pass into the first puzzle with cubes. So these are the cubes. If I can aim. They don't follow any laws of gravity, thankfully. They just sort of flow wherever you place them. And they're used to solve pretty much the rest of the puzzles. So look at that here. Now I got the green gun. Immediately leave. Wrong place. Unfortunately, there's not much like text to help me. As you can see, most of those are just there, and I have to memorize where I'm supposed to be going, which I have, thankfully. The signs are the worst part. There's usually a tracker I can use. I didn't want to use it for this. One, because sometimes it just doesn't work anymore, and you have to reinstall, and it's a pain. Second, I just thought it'd be fun to just not do it with it. But that means that I have almost no idea when I've collected a sign or not. There is I'll show off once I get this one there. There's a big wall of all of them up there, which I can check right at the end. Where am I going? Here we go. There I'm going. I'll check at the end. There is one sign right at the end that you won't get to see collected, which I'll also demonstrate the next time I go into the Antichamber. It's basically an 1.5-hour time lock that you can skip. Also, there are the birds, very clearly birds. They react to how fast you're moving, so if you're like walking fast, they'll move fast, and if they collide with walls, then they will break them, and usually floors, which is not fun. I forgot what I was saying. Let me try that again. Here we can do a little bit of a duplication of sorts because it auto-completes that final cube. So if you just... Okay, I am not sure why that's not happening. You can basically keep collecting the auto-collect the cube and then placing a new one like that. And that gives you enough cubes to, with aim, please. One shot, that's not fun. Try that again for like the 5th time. I'm not sure why it's like bumping me so hard. It usually doesn't do that. This is not the part of the one I was scared of. Okay, I did collect all of them good. Okay. Usually that's not too hard. It doesn't bump you like that so much. But now I got the yellow gun. So the gimmick of the... did I explain the gimmick of the green gun? I'll explain it with the yellow gun. So the yellow gun, it lets you move cubes with the middle mouse. So if I move one up there, place on the floor, and just this is an elevator up this little place. Honestly, kind of the most useless one. It's only used a couple times, and I don't think I realized it on my first playthrough, so that wasn't fun. And we almost immediately just go and grab the red one once I solve this puzzle that I think I did correctly. There you go. So you can see I'm just... Never mind. Try that again. That's nice. I don't know why I was missing that little tail there. But you can basically translate it through all that part of the puzzle. And now the fun one, the red gun, which is the most powerful one, it basically will place them in concentric circles. The odd thing about it, though, is that to place an entire extra ring of cubes, you need just one in your gun, but you pick up all that you've placed. So you can very quickly just accrue a lot of cubes. I will demonstrate that soon. It's quite useful. Another thing, again, a lot of things sort of happening. I can explain as they come. This red block looking thing is a cube deletion or barrier. It will not let you place any of the cubes in it, will destroy any that move into it, and will also take all of them out of your gun. However, if you hold and place at the same time while going through one, you'll preserve a single cube, which is very useful. I did it earlier, didn't explain it though, because again, damn it. Try that again. As this is what I was talking about with the how you can get a lot more. So I first create a big ring like that, then collect them all, place it again. So now I have a bunch to solve this puzzle like that. They also sort of go through walls. Does it in a weird way and sort of avoids it, but oh, that as well. So, oh my god, double jumping of sorts. It's not exactly double jumping, but the way jumping works is a bit odd. If you walk off a platform without jumping, you will preserve the jump. Yeah, I'm going in. So, as you can see that I'd walk off the blocks, then jump, and I'd still have it. Though, if you jump off a platform, you don't keep it. So, it's not exactly a double jump, it's like half a double jump. Delayed jump, I guess. It's just called a double jump because it looks like it. Yeah, hopefully get this in one nice swoop. Like, oh, damn it. It's nice to get that in one swoop because it cleans it all just right off. It's ultimately not a big deal if you don't, but it's nice. So, as I said, we're not collecting any more guns throughout the rest of the game. We've got the top gun, I guess. So it's just going to be clearing out all of the rest of the puzzles. One time you do that, you can just clip through walls. Some of them, not all of them. Makes just this section a bit faster. And here, this is, I think, is the best example. So as you can see, I collect 2 like that, place down, get 5, and fail. There we go. Try that again. Then now I have 5. Again, no idea why it works like that. It's like an intended duplication. But yeah, you can cheese like several puzzles with it. Or it's more useful to choose several in a row, as you've seen where I'll like collect them before and then use them for the next one. No, wrong one, please. Thank you. But yeah, from here it's just a lot of following the semi. Oh wait, no, there is actually a little bit behind me, isn't there? I'll just do that again. Yeah, I think that's it for new mechanics for the minute. I don't have much to talk about while I go through this little tower section, so if you've got donations or anything, feel free, for like 1, maybe 2.
None at the moment, but I just wanted to give a special mention to Urban Climb and thank them for sponsoring ASM 2025. They've generously contributed 7 prize vouchers for entry into any urban climb across Australia, as well as the included gear hire. And for any more information on that, you can go to prizes.ausspeedruns.com.
Here, I guess I didn't really get the time to demonstrate the double jump well. I think this is the best use of it. So as you see, I'll jump here, and as I'm falling, I won't jump, collect a cube, and then I can jump midair and try that again, I guess. This is the worst part, is trying to find where you were. Here we go. Yeah. So I'll demonstrate that again, hopefully successfully. Like that, jump up, there we go. And so that just saves having to go from all the way from the bottom up to the top. I don't know if it does some weird gimmick where it changes your location. I usually don't fail that, so I don't know. Yeah, I guess one thing I can explain is a glitch I'm choosing not to do for this run, which are lag clips. So if you like Alt-Tab or change the aspect ratio mid-run, it'll cause a slight... I did not collect any cubes. Let me try and get a couple there. It causes slight lag when you're trying to reopen the game, and for a brief period you can move without... You can move through, for example, like cube deletion barriers without deleting cubes, or move past lasers that usually shut doors without it shutting doors. However, I don't like them at all. I specifically routed... No, I didn't route this. I chose a route that was like 8 years old because no one's run lagless in like ages. I just don't like it. It's very inconsistent, looks weird, and is very finicky. I find it just a lot more fun to run without them. It saves, I think, a couple minutes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I didn't do the calculations, but ultimately, like, how do I not preserve a cube? That's so rude. Yeah, they just don't, especially when trying to record, because then it's like, if you're alt-tabbing, you have to do like a weird finger trick where you alt-tab and then shift alt-tab to move back very quickly, and if you want to change aspect ratio, then obviously you're changing aspect ratio, and that also looks odd. So I chose not to do it here. That is supposed to collect. Can it please? Pretty please. Try that again. Hopefully this. Get that small gap. It sort of overlaps. It doesn't really matter. It still solves, and that's all that matters. Once again, birds, I ain't really explained them much, I don't think. They're more of a nuisance than anything. I don't think they really help solve beyond that one puzzle. They just react to... There is a shift key, so you can move slow past them, and that makes them happy and they'll just stay in a ball. However, if you walk fast, they go crazy, and specific walls will get destroyed if you make them angry. There are only a couple points. I'm trying to remember I think that's the only point where they're actually like useful, more than just like annoying and have to like route around. And even then, half the time you're one of them you have to slowly walk past. You can kind of feather the shift key to move faster and still appease the birds, but again, it's very brief. Here we do a little bit of because as I said, they sort of go through walls kind of. So if you spread it out like that, it ends up just filling all of them for you. And here, I didn't mention it, but from the start, we instantly left, but now we're going to come right back. So this is pretty much the first puzzles you're supposed to solve with the gun. I forget that it actually has to move. There we go. But instead of having the blue gun with only, you'd be able to hold one and place one. Now the red gun, which means we can, cheese like most of these. Like here, you're supposed to be pretty frugal with the number of cubes you have, but you can just get like way too many. And hopefully jump correctly. There you go. So here we have just a bunch that we can just easily hold all those doors open and still have enough to solve this. Usually you have to juggle a bunch to make sure you can fill all 3 holes, but just fill all 3 holes with like the ones we already have. Oh, please. That's the annoying thing with stuff like that, is the way it spreads kind of depends on like what angle you place it at. So if you're not, far enough down, it won't spread in the way you want. Like they're just kind of got stuck. And if you do, it does it correctly, which is what I want. Ultimately, again, not that big of a deal, but worth mentioning. So I think we already have probably about 100 signs at this point. I don't have the count like off the top of my head. Again, I don't know exactly which ones. I've done a lot of practice to make sure I know which ones I consistently miss, and I'm sort of just hoping. Apologies, that sounds very loud. There's very little sound to this game, so I forget how loud sometimes the falling sound effects can be. Yeah, we probably are like quite near the end. Where am I supposed to go from here? I think it's just straight there, I believe. I mean, I'll see in a moment. Apologies for that, but I will see in a moment if I am good at the game. If I've missed any, again, they don't when they're on the wall, if you don't have them, you don't see what the clue is. So it can be pretty difficult to figure out which ones you've missed. I have a couple in my head that I've learnt, like, around the position of, that can be a massive pain. Hopefully, the main goal is that I don't have to go back to any of them. And again, if I've missed one that I cannot figure out, I might just have to go for like 119 or something, because very little chance of me being able to just like randomly guess which ones I've missed. But hopefully, you won't have to. There we go, click that sign right there. This is a bit of a fun visual one, because you just constantly change what you're going. Like, here's a red ceiling, but now it's actually yellow. Down here, that was a laser on an elevator, but turns out it's actually an eye below you. No, it's not. There we go. Now it's an eye below you. And now you're falling into green, and now you fly up to blue, and now I'm looking the wrong direction. There we go. And now you're falling. So here, I didn't mention cube preserves, but if you shoot and then leave, if it's in the air when you leave, and it lands while you're in the antechamber, it'll be preserved when you re-enter. Because normally it won't. Like if I had one placed and then left and then entered a new level, it would just delete that. But if it's flying, now I've just completely ruined it. I don't know why it's not doing that. So now unfortunately I have to do this little section again, because it's pretty vital that I preserve at least one. You can preserve more, but trying to preserve more is a lot riskier, because even just preserving one can be a bit of a pain, let alone two. You have to like double click and then leave fast enough, because they do travel quite fast. So I'll see if I actually managed to preserve it this time. Okay, I did preserve it last time, I just got rid of the middle one. So see, so I grab it through the seam here, the one I preserved, collect 4, and then collect 4, there we go. Last time, it is a bit finicky, because with those ones where you make like a circle, when I removed the middle one, the ones on the outside no longer had one to anchor to, so they all just disappeared without me collecting them. I didn't realize that could happen, but it did, unfortunately. So a little bit of time lost, but you can adapt. Anyways, that is pretty much the end of signs. There's still a little section more here, where we're gonna chase down a sort of ghostly black cube that has been visible throughout the game. I haven't looked at it because it's usually in places you have to like backtrack a little bit. We'll see it here. Looking up the staircase. That. Gonna be chasing that a bit. There is an end to the game. However, we're not actually going to get to the end of the game because there's no signs there. There is a sign, as I said, with the time lock. So I'll do a bit of movement there. I will call time. It's a bit... I have to make sure I have all the signs first, but it is a bit abrupt. But here we can see this cube is going to go into the purple hallway that where we can see is not a purple hallway, so it seems like we've lost it. But you can clip through. We can catch up with the cube and nothing happens. Nothing's scripted to happen because you're not supposed to catch up. Though it does move for quite a while afterwards, which is odd. Like, it's by far out of sight by the time it moves out or stops appearing. Unfortunately, yeah, if you collide with it, nothing actually happens. It's just fast. But we do get to see it one more time in here. Once I preserve... Now this floor is a lot longer, so I can preserve a couple cubes like that. Hopefully. Yes. Keep a couple. And there it is. Last time we're going to see it, unfortunately, because we just have to go straight to the end. Oh, is it? Might see it one more time. I don't intentionally look at it, so I don't know when the actual last time you see it is. So hopefully... I guess we are going up, so technically you'll see it again, but it's not going to be in a new spot. But we are getting into the final few signs. Hopefully the 119th. Though I'll check behind the wall and pray. So down here, I click that sign. Yes, okay, so that's the only sign I'm missing so far. The rest are collected, 119. As you see time remaining, you'll get a sign when this runs out. However, for some reason, if you click behind, hopefully, it'll collect it, and that is time. I can't really prove that it's collected. You kind of have to trust me there. But it did collect for some reason. Just clipping out of bounds gives you the time bound. You don't have to move anywhere. It usually just gives it to it, but whatever. That's 120 signs. Successfully, thankfully. So thank you, ASM, for having me here. I know it was a bit tough on scheduling. Got an estimate, which is nice. I don't have much of a spiel, so I'll send it off. Thanks.
All right, and thank you for that lovely run, Perigon. Up next, we have Grand Theft Auto Vice City Any Percent No SSU by Damosk. Alright, and we're ready to get underway with Grand Theft Auto Vice City Any% No SSU by Damo. Take it away.